today I wanted to talk about what IMDEX are doing in the drilling optimisation space, as opposed to perhaps rock knowledge, which many of you may well have heard me talk about quite a bit in the past. So why is IMDEX so passionately interested in drilling optimisation? Obviously, drilling the holes is how we get data in the first place, and we know that increasingly over the last 10 years in particular, the cost of drilling has been increasing, which means that we're not getting to spend as much of our exploration budget in the ground. So anything that we can do that means we can drill more metres will in fact fundamentally shift the effectiveness of our exploration programs. So drilling optimisation in IMDEX, well, unsurprisingly, like a lot of what we do, we have quite a data-centric vision of what it can mean. So using the iconic green and yellow buckets of AMC, you can see here really what we're trying to depict is a journey where people start to optimise drilling really to a large extent by being able to gather the data and see what's going on in the field. So it's talking about going from a very person-centric, driller-centric and very reliable on driller experience and using bits of paper to try and monitor that, to using more and more sensors to gather data and create what I like to talk about as the virtual drill rig. So, really a lot of what you'll hear us starting to talk about, and one of the things I'll talk about today is how do you do this? What does this start looking like? And I know that Andrew Bailey will be sitting here going that I'm doing some of his pre-work for him as well, because what the METS CRC is trying to do is also quite similar. And then the other thing, and the point of this slide, is really to illustrate that when it comes to drilling optimisation, there's actually a lot of technologies that are available now for us to be using. This is the full suite of what IMDEX provides in this space. And really, what I wanted to emphasise too is that the things that optimise drilling is there's lots of parts to this. There's using the sensors that are most effective in gathering quality data, but also collecting it in the most time-efficient way possible, so you minimise the time that you're not drilling. The drilling fluids and associated technology around the drilling fluids is an incredibly critical part of the process, and I'll come back to that. But then there's also technologies like CoreVibe and Extractor and the MagHammer, which we're starting to put into the market now, which actually directly improve the productivity of the drilling process. So you can see there's a very holistic approach here and a very data-driven one, but I just wanted to focus now on a couple of those technologies. So the first of them is actually really topical for the times that we face right now. As I said, drilling fluids are an incredibly critical part of how you optimise how effective your drilling program is. The way traditionally people have done that is by having a fluid engineer on site intermittently working with the drillers. What ModAid is actually represents is a series of probes that you can put into the drilling fluid off the back of an SOU that allow you to monitor what the drilling fluid's doing at all times in real time. And it means that one of our mud engineers sitting back in the office can contact the driller remotely and tell them to make a change. So it's a great example of the way that we can use data remotely right now to be monitoring what's going on and make changes without having to have people out on the drill site. And then the other point I want to make around drilling fluids is we quite often as geologists think of them as being a dark art, but the reality is that it's something that geologists can understand, and seeing that data in HubIQ allows you to do that. And then the final technology that I wanted to touch on today is CoreVibe, which is a technology that you can use on a conventional diamond rig. It's fluid-driven vibration, which allows you to increase your drilling productivity, your rates of penetration by up to 50%, which means a drilling productivity improvement of up to 30%. We have this technology on use at a few customer sites across Australia right now, and are looking to push this out over drill sites over the next 12 months. Okay,